Liam was a healthy, active teenager, full of life and energy. He was the kind of young man who seemed to have it all. He excelled as a soccer player, always giving his best on the field. He was also a top student, dedicated to his studies and achieving high grades. College was definitely on his horizon, and he was excited about the future. Like many active individuals, he occasionally experienced aches and pains. For these minor discomforts, he reached for ibuprofen, a common over-the-counter pain reliever. He also used diphenhydramine for seasonal allergies and the occasional sleepless night, never thinking twice about the potential long-term effects. These medications were readily available, and he considered them harmless aids to get through daily life. Over time, however, he started to feel more tired than usual, even after a full night's sleep. His energy levels plummeted, making it harder to focus on his studies and perform well in soccer. He developed persistent stomach cramps that wouldn't go away, and he noticed he was losing weight without trying. These symptoms were concerning, but he didn't connect them to his over-the-counter medication use. Despite these troubling signs, he kept taking the pills, assuming they were harmless and that his symptoms were due to stress or other factors. He continued to self-medicate, seeking relief from his discomfort without consulting a doctor. When he got to college, the abdominal pain became unbearable, interfering with his classes and social life. He could barely focus on his studies, and his overall quality of life significantly declined. One day, he noticed blood in his stool, a frightening symptom that he could no longer ignore. This alarming discovery finally pushed him to seek professional medical attention. The severity of his symptoms finally prompted him to seek medical help, hoping to find answers and relief from his suffering. He made an appointment with a doctor, ready to share his story and undergo any necessary tests. After a series of tests, including blood work and imaging, Liam was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, a chronic inflammatory condition affecting the digestive tract. Crohn's disease is a severe form of inflammatory bowel disease that can cause significant pain, inflammation, and long-term complications if left untreated. His doctors carefully reviewed his medical history and lifestyle habits, searching for potential causes of his condition. They began to suspect a link between his medication use and his illness. The medical team linked his condition to years of frequent high-dose NSAID use, particularly ibuprofen, which he had been taking regularly for pain relief. The prolonged use of these medications had damaged his gut lining, leading to chronic inflammation and ultimately contributing to the development of Crohn's disease. Liam's story is a wake-up call, a stark reminder that even seemingly harmless habits can have serious consequences for our health. It highlights the fact that even common, over-the-counter medications, readily available in any pharmacy, can have serious consequences if misused or taken without proper guidance. The ease of access to these medications can make us forget that they are powerful substances with the potential for harm. It's crucial to remember that these drugs are powerful and not risk-free, and they should be treated with respect and caution. His journey from a picture of health to a chronic illness serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of self-medication. It shows how a quick-fix solution can quickly spiral into a lifelong problem, requiring ongoing medical management and significantly impacting one's quality of life. We must understand what we put in our bodies and take the time to read and understand medication labels and potential side effects. It's essential to seek professional medical advice and understand the risks of self-medicating without guidance from a doctor or pharmacist. Liam's experience is a public health warning for us all, urging us to be more mindful and informed about the medications we take. NSAIDs, like Advil and Motrin, are common over-the-counter pain relievers. They're often the first line of defense against everyday aches and pains, easily accessible in almost every household and pharmacy. Aleve, with its active ingredient naproxen and the ever-present aspirin, are everywhere, readily available for quick relief. These medications have become so integrated into our lives that we often don't think twice about reaching for them. They're frequently used for headaches, those nagging pains that can disrupt our day. Also for fevers, when our body temperature rises, and for sore muscles, after a strenuous workout or just from daily life. Their effectiveness in alleviating these symptoms and their easy access without needing a prescription make them a go-to solution for millions seeking quick comfort. Diphenhydramine, the main ingredient in Benadryl, is another familiar name in our medicine cabinets. It is another household staple, often relied upon for its ability to combat allergic reactions and promote sleep. It's commonly used for allergies, to relieve sneezing, itching, and runny noses, and also as a sleep aid. helping people drift off to a peaceful night's rest. Many people use these drugs daily, incorporating them into their regular routines to manage chronic conditions or simply to cope with everyday discomforts. However, this frequent use is often without realizing the potential risks associated with long-term or excessive consumption. The problem is, we tend to treat them as harmless remedies, underestimating their true impact on our bodies. We are forgetting they're potent medications with real effects on our bodies, capable of causing significant changes and potential side effects if not used responsibly. NSAIDs work by blocking enzymes, specifically cyclooxygenase, CoX enzymes. These enzymes play a crucial role in producing substances that cause pain and inflammation in the body, but they also disrupt protective systems in the gut, interfering with the production of prostaglandins that safeguard the stomach lining. Diphenhydramine blocks histamine, a chemical released by the body during an allergic reaction, thereby easing allergy symptoms, but also causing drowsiness as it affects the central nervous system, leading to sedation and sleepiness. These drugs don't just target symptoms, they affect the whole body, influencing various physiological processes beyond their intended purpose. Chronic, unsupervised use can quietly lead to serious health problems, gradually impacting organ function and overall well-being. We pop pills for quick relief, seeking immediate solutions to our discomforts, without fully considering the long-term consequences. But the normalization of frequent use, often driven by convenience and accessibility, is where the potential for harm truly begins to escalate. Millions take NSAIDs daily, relying on them to manage chronic pain or simply to get through the day. This is often without medical advice, leading to self-medication practices that can be risky and detrimental to long-term health. The key takeaway here is that these medications are powerful tools, and their widespread impact, especially on the delicate balance of the gut microbiome, shouldn't be underestimated, as it can have far-reaching effects on overall health. Therefore, it's crucial to respect their power, understand their potential side effects, and use them with caution, always considering the long-term implications for your health. NSAIDs, those seemingly harmless over-the-counter pain relievers, can silently damage your gut. They're a common go-to for aches and pains, but their impact on your digestive system can be significant. They do this by weakening its protective lining, the very barrier that keeps harmful substances from leaking into your bloodstream. This protective layer is crucial for maintaining overall health. By blocking COX-1, an enzyme vital for producing protective prostaglandins, they reduce the production of substances that shield your stomach and intestines from their own digestive acids, leaving them vulnerable. This leaves delicate tissue exposed to the corrosive effects of stomach acid and vulnerable to injury. The constant exposure can lead to significant discomfort and long-term damage. Over time, this persistent assault leads to chronic inflammation within the gut lining, a condition that can have far-reaching consequences. This chronic inflammation can trigger the immune system to mistakenly attack the gut itself, leading to a cascade of further complications. This sets the stage for the development of inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD, a debilitating condition characterized by chronic inflammation and damage to the digestive tract. Furthermore, chronic inflammation also significantly raises the risk of developing bowel cancer, a serious and potentially life-threatening disease. This is because constant cell turnover, driven by inflammation, increases the chance of DNA mutations and cellular damage, paving the way for cancerous growth. The real danger isn't in occasional use for a headache or minor injury, but in the daily, long-term reliance on these medications without proper medical oversight and guidance. Athletes or workers who routinely take NSAIDs every day to manage pain are placing themselves at particularly high risk. This consistent use relentlessly erodes the gut's natural defenses, making it increasingly vulnerable to damage. This can ultimately lead to a cascade of chronic illnesses and long-term health problems that significantly impact quality of life. What starts as a helpful tool for managing pain can quickly become a trigger for devastating disease if misused or overused. Occasional, responsible use is generally considered safe. However, chronic, unsupervised use carries significant risks and should be avoided. Protect your gut health. Don't let a quick fix for pain become a lasting, debilitating problem. Consult with your doctor about safer alternatives for long-term pain management. IBD refers to two chronic conditions: Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Unlike irritable bowel syndrome, IBD causes real, visible damage to the digestive tract. Crohn's can affect any part of the gut, often in patches, and penetrates deep into the bowel wall, causing complications like strictures and fistulas. Ulcerative colitis is limited to the colon and rectum, with continuous inflammation of the innermost lining. Both cause painful flare-ups, require ongoing treatment, and increase cancer risk. There's no cure. Management involves medication, lifestyle changes, and sometimes surgery. Living with IBD means navigating uncertainty and lifelong health challenges. Young adults often ignore early symptoms, but catching IBD or bowel cancer early is crucial. Watch for persistent changes in bowel habits, weeks of diarrhea, constipation, or incomplete emptying. Chronic abdominal pain or cramping that doesn't go away is a major red flag. Blood in your stool, red, black, or tarry, always needs immediate medical attention. Unexplained weight loss and constant fatigue are also warning signs. If you're reaching for painkillers daily or notice these symptoms, don't dismiss them. Your body is sending a distress signal. Listen and act. Early diagnosis can make all the difference. IBD and bowel cancer are rising sharply among young adults, a major shift from the past. Once seen in older people, these diseases now affect those in their 20s and 30s. Diets high in processed foods, low in fiber, and sedentary lifestyles are key factors. Over-the-counter medication misuse adds to the risk, especially when used to self-treat chronic pain or allergies. The quick fix culture and casual pill use may be fueling this trend. 3 million Americans live with IBD, and colorectal cancer rates in under 50s are climbing by 2% each year. Screening guidelines now recommend starting at age 45. Young people can't afford to ignore gut health or persistent symptoms. This trend is a wake-up call for proactive health choices. Don't be complacent. Protect your future health now. NSAIDs and antihistamines aren't evil, they're just powerful and need to be used wisely. Occasional short-term use is generally safe. Problems arise when use becomes daily and unsupervised. Always follow label instructions for dose and duration, never exceed them. Watch for therapeutic duplication. Taking multiple products with the same active ingredient can lead to accidental overdose. If you need these medications for more than a week or two, see a doctor. Chronic symptoms need professional evaluation, not long-term self-medication. Your doctor can help find safer, more effective solutions. Respect these drugs and use them only as directed. Pills aren't the only answer. There are safer, effective alternatives. For pain, physical therapy, targeted exercise, and posture correction can address root causes. Heat and ice therapy, mind-body techniques like meditation and yoga can also help manage pain. For allergies, identify triggers, use air purifiers, and try nasal irrigation to reduce symptoms without medication. When medication is needed, ask your doctor about safer options, acetaminophen for pain, or non-drowsy antihistamines for allergies. Combine non-drug strategies with medical advice for a holistic approach. Make informed choices, don't just reach for a pill. Your health deserves a smarter strategy. Good health is about empowerment, not fear. Liam's story and rising disease rates remind us to be active participants in our own care. Before taking any medication, ask, do I need this? Have I tried alternatives? Am I listening to my body's signals? Don't normalize chronic pain or fatigue. Track symptoms and share them with your doctor. Build a relationship with a primary care physician, even if you feel healthy. Be honest about all medication use and symptoms, no matter how minor. Early detection and medical supervision are key to preventing long-term harm. Take ownership of your health. Educate yourself, listen to your body, and seek help when needed.